So the main thing we're going to work on making sure that we have is the trajectory of this decal. You guys see the side marker opening very clearly, very plain. We want that right in the middle of the bumblebee stripe. The bumblebee stripe has an end here and an end here. So if I represent that, when we put this on, that's where we're going to be at. I spotted this car about 25 years ago, sitting in a carport in Eugene, bang on the trailer door, and he didn't want to sell it. And we've all heard the story. No, I'm going to restore it. Well, you're not going to restore it, because if you were, you would already have done it. By about the 10th or 15th year, I noticed the car was missing parts. I noticed the first was the engine and the transmission were gone. I thought, oh man. Came by a couple years later, the rear end's gone. I think, boy, I see the writing on the wall. He was parting out this car, and I knew at this point, with the heart of the car, the engine and transmission gone, maybe the guy would sell it. And I did make a deal to buy the car. We got it torn apart, sandblasted, and it was a mess. It needed almost all of the sheet metal done on it, both quarters, inner and outer wheel houses, trunk floor extensions, rear cross-member extensions. The rails were good. I think it got an apron on the front on it. It got the main floor under seat pan. All those things were rotten. It's an 1/8 of an inch reveal, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch reveal.
Okay.
And then this.
Hey.
Trying to show these guys what we're doing here.
Okay, I was just looking.
No, it's fine. So,
You want to know how to do this right, you just let me know.
Oh,
very funny.
It's going to be really important. Keep an eye on that. What did he say?
He said if you want this done right, let him know.
Oh, Will? Hey, yo.
Yeah.
You got a second?
Yeah.
This is hilarious. The one guy in the world I would never trust to do decals is old long hair down there. I wouldn't trust him on a dare. Actually, good.
What's that?
Is it true you said that? That
Said
if
what?
you want it done right,
Yeah.
to ask you?
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Oh, I can't right now.
No, you need to do that.
No, I can't.
Well, you're going to put it on.
Well, I'm not going to put it on.
Well, you're not going to get a paycheck. Now what do you want to do? So those are your two choices. No paycheck or put it on.
Do you have an extra set?
I have 3 sets.
He's going to need all of
But
them.
you just went by and said that you know what you're doing and you're really smart.
I didn't say that at all.
No, you said you could do a really good job, so.
I said if he wants to know how to do it, to let me know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have Will actually do the tutorial on these decals. I think that's very important at this point. He's been here 24 years.
7.
And 27 years. He had a little bit of difficulty once before, but that doesn't make him a bad guy. So go wash your hands, and we'll reconvene right back here. Anybody got a chair?
It goes on the back of the car.
Goes
Thank
on
you.
the back of the car.
Thank you, Willie.
It's got to go
It's
over
upside
the,
down.
I wasn't applying it yet, I know.
Okay.
It's got to go over the marker light hole.
You got that? It's got to go over the marker light hole.
Is there a particular way that you line it up over the marker light hole?
Well, you just put enough to go over the quarter into the trunk jam.
How much should...
It's enough. Like, whatever, like that, probably.
Yeah, put it over enough.
Enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you
what
put
about the
like
bottom
that.
of the tail then?
Well, then at that, since we've established enough's at the top,
Uh-huh.
it'll all just fall into place.
Or it'll just fall into place.
Well, you got a squeegee.
Kind of magical.
Well, not really, not magical, it's just the way it goes.
Where should this style line go in proportion to the RT call out?
This should be like somewhere right above the style
Should
line.
be right above the style line. What should? The whole thing?
No.
Why don't you put it up above it and see how much tail you have? Right now, Will's learning a valuable lesson about opening your big fat mouth.
It
Yeah.
didn't- You know, I recall putting an emblem
All
on
I
a car and
want
it went
you to
right on the
do-
style
And then
line.
you just grab your squeegee.
Look into the camera and just say, look, I shouldn't have done it. You know you're terrible.
Well, yeah.
So why would you come by and take a shot at me like
I would,
that?
how'd I take a shot at you?
You said if you wanted to see it done right, isn't that what
That's
he said?
exactly what he, yeah,
Is that exactly what
exactly
it said verbatim?
Yeah.
I wasn't even talking about decals. I was talking about paint. You want to know how to do this right, you just let me know.
Is this side marker opening, because you know it goes all the way to here, it's not just that, it's all the way over to the reveal, has to be centered in the decal, real close. We want to try to center it in the decal. It'll have to come all the way down. We don't worry as much about the tail as we do the reveal. When you're doing a stripe like a bumblebee, there are key spots where you want to make sure you hit your mark at. So for example, like on the RT call out on the quarter panel, it should be where the bottom of the R or the top of the T should have the style line going down it. And then you want the side marker centered as close as you can to the opening, but you've got to line those up with the deck lid. The deck lid is the one thing. You get that trunk lid on there, and then you make sure if you were to sight across the decal on the trunk lid that it's going to line up okay with the quarter panel, that it's not going to have a misalignment where it's got a V shape to it. It should be one steady flow. So there's a lot of key areas there, and that's why we set things out. That's why we line them up. That's why we mask them off. Fit, pre-fit before you ever get the gel out and start applying a decal. Now go ahead and grab the other decal and we'll set the trajectory across the back.
Okay. So this is the first large decal that I've had an opportunity to do here. And it was wonderful having Mark by my side to help me through the process.
Because we've got to make sure wherever that comes out, and this one will end up coming over here, so we want to line up the decals themselves.
Okay.
And it's important here to make sure that on the other end, when this is all set in place, we can follow it without these two having any kind of a weird intersection.
Gotcha.
So we're going to want to put this where we believe it goes on this end, and then on the other end, mock it into place, overlapping this one, and now center the side marker in the decal down low.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to move the whole thing this
The whole thing,
direction.
because I can see there's way too much reveal here.
Okay. Probably
You
gonna
just
have
move
to
things
be-
around. That's what's nice. We haven't ruined anything with the spray yet. Everything is where it's supposed to be.
All right.
So we're going to keep working on this, get it centered where we need it to be, and then we will install the decals.
So Doug's just been completely all over me to get these valve covers done for him so he can finish the assembly of that 426 Hemi. Normally we clean the surface, we bring the temperature up in the booth to like 150 degrees, we apply it, and then as it dries, it starts to wrinkle. But for some reason in this case, it's just laying out like normal paint. It wrinkled in a couple different spots, a little bit right there, but then right over here, it's perfectly smooth. So down this whole side, wrinkled, but I don't know exactly what's going on. It just looks like, good Lord.
Look, I'm under a lot of pressure here. Mark's running around here torturing me saying, hey, I gotta get this Hemi done right now. Well, I can't get this thing done until I get the valve covers painted. So look, I know if I take these valve covers down to Will, he's not even gonna bother with them. I'm gonna have to come down there and check on him. You know, if I got pressure on me, I'm gonna put some pressure on Will. Are they done yet?
Do they look done?
Well, have you painted them?
Yeah, Doug, they're black.
They look horrible.
Again, that's why I was, oh, what are you?
Oh, they're wet.
I'm trying to explain to everybody at home that we're having a problem and what we're gonna do to fix it.
At home?
Hint the cameras.
Oh. Where's the paint?
Right there, Doug.
This says you're supposed to shake the can vigorously for 60 seconds. Did you do that?
Yeah, I had it on the paint shaker, Doug.
Paint shaker. You have a paint shaker?
Yeah.
Surface has to be clean. Were they clean before you started? Did
Yeah.
you guys prep these
Yeah.
for paint?
Yeah, just like we always do.
The temperature has to be between 65 and 90 degrees in here.
Correct.
What's the temperature in here right now?
65.
That's all.
That's what it needs to be.
It says here, put it in an oven at 200 degrees and bake. Did
Well,
you read that?
Yeah, and this is like an oven.
Can you cook a turkey in here?
Yeah, but it would probably take a long time, Doug. Okay, let's just stop. Just.
Why, oh, why won't Will follow instructions? Okay, you get them painted,
Okay.
completely painted.
Okay.
Do what the directions say, and I'll take them and I'll put them in my oven in the kitchen at 200 degrees. How's that sound? Oh, Dougie's gonna help you out here.
That sounds great, Doug.
Sounds good?
I'll put the coat on right now and get it down to you in the next 20 minutes.
Well, you shouldn't be painting while I'm here. I'm gonna leave. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Sounds good, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Can you bake bread in here?
Careful right now, folks. You don't want to get this wet. You don't want to overspray that with it either. So go ahead and pull. Spraying backwards, not to get the backing paper. Okay, let's soak that down.
Perfect.
And now we're going to spray the car.
All right.
In case it goes over on the quarter, we want our slide gel over there. And we're going to line up our marks.
There we go.
We want to lock down this middle.
Okay.
Not this end and not that end yet. We want to lock it down right in the middle. Then we can squeegee our way. You'll do that side.
Makes sense, yeah.
I'll do this side. So I'm just going to start right here. One nice solid straight pull. Feel how it still likes to move?
Yeah, a little bit.
I got a lot of soap in it. Maybe a hair too much. That's okay. I'm going to comb the soap out of it and the water out of it this way. Pull it your way. Little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. It likes to move on us. Is that it? She locking up?
Yeah.
Okay. Go off at an angle like that. Try not to do that.
Try not to do that.
Yeah, just like that right there.
Okay,
Even
make
if you scratch it out here with your palette. That's
Make sure it comes off the edge. Okay.
Right. Don't ever lock yourself down in the middle until the whole thing's ready to lock down.
Gotcha.
I like to keep it clean while I'm working. Another thing to do, Brian, is make sure this stays loose over here as you tighten it down.
Uh-huh.
You don't want it sticking to the outside corner, and I'm still good there.
We'll make sure we can roll it into the deck lid.
We'll be able to once we get this locked down. Right
Okay.
now, it's real vulnerable to move,
Okay.
so we want to just keep squeegeeing. You'll see every time, like right there, I just got more out.
More goo.
Yep.
Okay, so Will got my valve covers painted. Let me check the temperature on the oven. 197, 200. Look at that, 205. That should cook them. I don't know why Will does the things he does. These things have to go into an oven to come out right. Mark taught me a long time ago. That's why we have a commercial kitchen. Put them in the oven, 200 degrees. They'll come out perfect. This is so simple. I don't know why Will won't follow instructions. So, they look pretty good. Let's hope they crinkle up. Give them about an hour to cook, and if they wrinkle, we're golden. Yeah.
We're going to do a systems check on this 69 Charger. Headlights, high and low beam. Left turn signal front. Right turn signal front. Park lamps. Turn signal indicators. Left turn rear. Right turn rear. Brake lights. And right here, I need to figure out why that park lamp's not on. This car's leaving today. I've spent about a year with it, but we want to check these things out before they leave and make sure we address them. So there's one thing for my list. All right, I'm going to do a quick little check of the gauges here. The clock's working great. Fuel gauge is reading. It's like my temperature gauge is starting to come up. Got real good oil pressure. And we're getting a small charge on the alternator right now. So everything looks excellent right here on this gauge panel. I'm going to shut down the park lights, and I am going to turn this car off and start doing a little bit of an inspection on the outside now. So one of the things I like to do once I've checked the systems is just get a look at the gaps on the car. So I like to start over here and really look at this gap between the hood and the fender, okay? And that is an excellent gap right there. Nice, consistent gap all the way up. One thing I've really learned working on these cars is just because I've been looking at them for a year doesn't mean I didn't miss something. So I go over every detail. I check it all. Got a real good gap right here on the back edge of the fender going into the hood area. Very consistent gap all the way across. To kind of work around and get a good look at the front of the car. I really just kind of want an overview of that front end, right? I'm looking at the bumper and the bumperettes and the valance and the grille and all of the reveals kind of as a whole unit, right? And I just want to see if anything stands out or if it just looks nice and symmetrical. This one is just gorgeous, absolutely beautiful 69 Charger. Hood to fender gaps, fender to door gaps, door to quarter gaps, deck lid to quarter gap, finishes, functionality, general overall appearance. I have to pretend that I'm looking at this thing for the first time through brand new eyes. I check the windows to make sure they're functioning correctly. Check the trim and the ornamentation to make sure it's not loose or I didn't miss a fastener. I always check the gaps where the hood matches up to the fenders. If those match up nice, I need to make sure that the fender to the door matches up nice. Yeah, overall, I'm taking this car in like it's the very first time. Like somebody else actually did the job and I'm looking at it for the first time before signing off on it. Hey, I even checked the reverse lights. The trunk compartment must be completely finished out before I send the car down the road. I'm looking at the jack instructions, the spare tire, the trunk mat, the lug wrench. Everything on this car came out perfect. I'm gonna let Mark know this thing is ready to fly down the road. Okay, Charger emblem, little RT emblem. One of the awesome features of the Charger is this fuel cap. I've had this thing open 100 times, but we'll do one final check on it, make sure she's good. Okay, that looks good there. Our decal, gorgeous. So I'm gonna just kind of put my hands on everything, make sure everything feels nice and tight right here. All right, everything feels really good under here. Everything looks nice, nice and tidy. So I think we're good to go under the hood.
Delivery day at Graveyard Cars is always special for the team, enjoying the culmination of effort from every department and every individual. The passion behind each person and their skill set is on full display. The reward is watching the car transform from where it began to where it is now, from ready for the wrecking yard to ready for the road ahead. Sending a car home is the most gratifying of all the steps on this journey. There is no doubt that we love these cars and hate to see them leave, but the reward in knowing that we just signed a new lease on life for that car makes everything we do worth it. This is Graveyard Cars.
Hey everybody, Will Scott, #1 painter here from Graveyard Cars. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you go in, like it, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now I'm gonna get back to painting.